If you want to be a successful investor, you need to know how to pick the right people to invest in. When you invest in the right people, you're going to have high returns for a long time. And if you invest in the wrong people, you will get low returns at best and complete loss of your capital at worst. Fortunately, it is possible to identify the winning managers and the losing ones. In the movie, The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy goes on a quest to find a wizard who can help her and her companions. The wizard is this mystical being who turns out to be just a man behind a curtain operating machines. Behind every company that you're going to invest in, there are men and women who are moving things. So when you think about it, when you invest in a company, you're essentially investing in those people and the systems that they have set up. When you only rely on numbers when you're investing, you end up missing red flags or you identify problems way too late. Bad numbers come from bad decisions by bad managers. And so being able to identify when you have a bad manager, founder, or entrepreneur is going to save you from unnecessary losses. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the things that you need to have in mind as you are analyzing an investment. You will learn how to separate the wheat from the chaff, the good founders, entrepreneurs, and managers from the bad ones. The entrepreneur that you're looking for needs to be a good leader with a compelling vision and the competency to bring that vision to life. Steve Jobs' vision for Apple was to use powerful technology to create tools that were easy to use, and these tools will be used by people to achieve their dreams and also change the world. He was a good leader because he could communicate that vision to the people around him, and he also had the competency to bring that vision to life. The first component of a good leader is therefore to be able to communicate their vision in a clear and compelling manner. Steve Jobs was not an easy person to work with, but because of how he was able to communicate his vision for Apple, he was able to attract very talented people to come and work for him. Together, they were able to achieve amazing things. These people that he attracted could have gotten jobs in other outstanding organizations, but they decided to stick with him because of the vision that he was able to communicate to them. When you have founders, managers, or entrepreneurs that can communicate their vision, they are not only able to attract employees, but also customers and other investors. The company is going to have loyal customers and also other investors that are going to boost the price of your stock. Over time, your returns are going to be amazing. The entrepreneur that you're looking for should not only be a good storyteller that can communicate their vision, but they need also to have the skills to bring that vision to reality. You've probably heard of the collapse of FTX, which was a crypto trading company, and it also had a related company called Alameda Research. The most shocking thing for me about that whole fiasco is that the CEO of Alameda did not understand what was involved when you are a dealer in the trading environment. When you have that kind of incompetency at the top, it is going to work its way down to the other employees in the organization. When you have a CEO or a founder or an entrepreneur who are incompetent, they cannot bring the vision that they have to reality. If you invest with them, it is only a matter of time before you lose your money, the same way that the people in FTX lost their money. The company that you are investing in is in a very competitive field or a new one, and so you need a visionary leader who can bring you the returns that you are looking for. When you're investing, you need someone who is clear on what they need to do and actually knows how to do it. Nevertheless, that visionary leader needs also to be an effective manager. The entrepreneur that you want to give your money to needs to be someone who can run the business day to day and also deliver results. Warren Buffett said that you can tell if a manager is good by comparing the accomplishments to what the competition has accomplished and also on how they have allocated capital over time. The founder that you want to back needs to be someone who can use the resources the company has to deliver results in the market. An aspect of being a good manager is understanding that you are competing, and so you need to have goals to deal with the competition. People are always looking for ways to make money. So let's say you set up a furniture shop somewhere and it is doing exceptionally well. When people notice that you're making a killing, they're going to set up other furniture shops around you. If you're not prepared to deal with that competition, you are going to see your profits reduce and even start making losses. This happens in every business. What you're looking for is a founder who understands this. And if they do not understand it, they are going to be eaten alive for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You want to put money in the hands of an entrepreneur who is ready to compete and who has a plan on how they're going to deal with the competition when it arises. The excellent manager is going to follow through on the goals that they have set by allocating resources in a way that is going to deliver results. You desire a founder who is going to put money in marketing and research and development. Both of these areas challenges the competition by creating services and products that are going to be attractive to customers in the future. An example of this is Safaricom. Even though they have been a market leader for years, they still invest heavily in market and also in new product development. This is the kind of mindset that you want. You do not want someone who is going to rest on their laurels. This mindset of committing resources to become a better competitor is what you want in an entrepreneur. That person is going to give you huge returns in the future. The returns on your investments come from customers. Consequently, you must invest in people who are committed to attracting customers and providing them with outstanding products. However, these founders, entrepreneurs, and managers need to pass on these returns to you, and this brings me to the final thing that you need to look out for. This entrepreneur that you want to back needs to be someone who understands the relationship between them and you, the investor. You've probably never heard of someone called Tom Murphy, but he was the CEO of a broadcast company called Capital Cities. When he became the CEO of that company in 1966, it was worth a 16th of what CBS, another broadcast company, was worth at that time. 30 years later, when he left the company, Capital Cities was worth 3 times what CBS was worth. How was this possible? Tom Murphy was someone who understood the relationship between him and investors. He understood that the money he was working with belonged to the investors and it came at a cost. This founder must be someone who understands that you've given them capital and that capital is not for free. When a business makes money, it has 2 choices. It could either give that money back to the investors in the form of a dividend, or it could keep that money and then invest it in projects which are going to create a gain in the share price of the company and also greater dividends for the investors in future. The exceptional entrepreneur knows this. They do not treat the company's money as free money that can be used to do anything. For example, buy parks for themselves. They are always looking out for projects that are going to create value for the shareholders. In fact, when they know what they are doing, you are likely to give them even more money because it is worth it. This founder is going to demonstrate that they have a high regard for the shareholders. Have you ever lent money to someone and then they fail to pay it back, so you are forced to keep asking for your money back? At some point, they're going to turn to you and tell you, is 5,000 something to be bothering them about? Well, whether it is 50 shillings, 500 shillings, 5,000 shillings, or even 50,000 shillings, it is your money and you have a right to it. An exceptional entrepreneur that you are looking for understands this and they are willing to be held accountable. They are open and accessible to you as a shareholder. It doesn't matter whether you have a lot of shares in the company or you have a few shares, they are going to show you the regard that you deserve as a shareholder. You are going to feel as the boss, the most important person in that company. If the entrepreneur does not have this attitude, then they are going to use legal means or even fraudulent means to take money away from you, and you are going to be faced with great losses. Founders worth investing in are shareholder focused. They respect your money and they respect you. Think about it. Every time where people have lost money in investments, you are going to find that the managers or the founders had a disdain for the shareholders. The right entrepreneur, founder, or manager is going to make you a lot of money, and you can identify them in this way. First of all, they have a vision and they are competent enough to bring that vision to reality. Second, they are customer focused and they are willing to compete for those customers. Finally, they never lose sight of the fact that you as the investor are the boss and they are working for you. Next time you're investing in a business, shares on the stock market, or even in a bond, you can use these tips to pull the curtain and see the people who are behind the show. You might save yourself heartache that comes from losses, or you might identify a great investment that is going to be a game changer for you.